Hello, Gemini. Welcome to April. This is Gwendolyn. If it's your first time here, welcome. Or if you're returning, welcome back. This video is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for Gemini for April 2017. And I've got a couple fun announcements that I will share at the end of the video. So if you're interested in those, feel free to stick around and hear about those. But I'm just going to get straight into Gemini for April 2017. And one of the things I wanted to start off by saying is that the new moon in Aries happened at the end of March, so around March 27th or 28th, depending upon where you are in the world. And that new moon in Aries happened in your 11th house, Gemini. So the house of friendship, the house of networking. It's the traditional house of Aquarius. So it's about outer humanity, outer structures, friends, family, your tribe, that sort of thing. So the beginning of April could be a time for you, or actually all of April and the 6 months that follow that new moon in Aries in your 11th house, could be a time when you have extra motivation, extra fire, extra inspiration and drive to start something new in terms of your friendships, in terms of your social scene. So over the next 6 months, Gemini, you're probably going to see your social scene develop or change or have a new addition made to it. It's just got a lot of that fiery Aries drive, action, pushing forward. That's all Mars, Aries energy. And in your 11th house of social things, friends, outer society, humanity, it can also be of science or innovation, of genius, that sort of thing, new ideas that come out of nowhere. But generally, it's very socially focused. So in terms of, again, outer society groups, networking, you may be developing something that causes your networking to grow over the next 6 months, or you add to your friends, or you deepen your friendships. It's just new energy happening in your 11th house of friendships, marketing, outer humanity, science, genius, innovation, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go right into the reading for Gemini. And then again, if you want to stick around for those announcements, please feel free to. So central card for you for April, Gemini, is Strength. That's a wonderful, wonderful card. And Strength is pretty self-explanatory. One of the things I'll say about Strength is that this is a card that doesn't come from about force, or come about with force. It's gentle, it's soft, it's patient. So one of the things I'm getting for you is don't try to force things. For April, be patient. It's really through endurance and fortitude that Strength shows her abilities, that she's able to tame that lion and gently coax open its jaws. It's not like she's ripping those jaws open or applying force. It's through her patience, her endurance, and her gentleness that her strength is shown. So I'm really getting that for you, Gemini. Be patient with yourself and with others during April. Tap into your inner reserves of strength. Look at the softer side of life. Be gentle, be patient, be kind. That's what Strength is about. So you may have to apply some patience somewhere for April, but your strength is showing up. In the shadows, in the shadow position is Hierophant. What's passing away is Magician in reverse. Lots of red, orange, yellow energy here. So that is fire, optimism. Orange is usually change, or something that's different, something that's not seen before. Orange is a very sort of modern kind of color. It represents something new, something innovative, something different. So that's kind of interesting. I'm seeing a lot of that. What's approaching is Six of Coins in reverse. And then what is highlighted or featured is King of Cups. For week 1, the featured card is Knight of Cups. For week 2, we have 6 of Wands. For week 3, we have Chariot. And week 4 is 5 of Swords in reverse. So starting again with strength, this is just your central theme and focus for April. So strength, that means being patient, being kind, being gentle, having fortitude, having endurance. Actually, you're succeeding in an epic feat through showing your kindness, gentleness. You're able to open the lion's mouth and tame the beast because of your inner strength, your inner fortitude. She doesn't give up and she doesn't have fear. She's very courageous. She's able to stay maintained on her task. She's able to be present and not be fearful. She's able to kind of adapt to the task or the beast that she is trying to tame. And she sticks with it. She's not forcing anything. She just stays and she just makes it happen. So that's a nice message for you for April, Gemini. What's in the shadows is Hierophant. Now, Hierophant is a card of conventionality and traditionalism. This is a major arcana card. In fact, all 3 of these are here as well as this one. And what it's saying is at the beginning of April for you, Gemini, is that there may be this push between these three cards. The major arcana cards are usually like sort of more emphasis on those themes. They're bigger. They're like more general. They're broader subjects. So Hierophant, what I'm seeing here with Hierophant in the shadows is that you might be more traditional or conventional than you think during April. You might be Hierophant usually has to do with social structures. He has to do with the group. He's usually the authority in the group. He does have some relation to spiritual matters. It's like the same position as a pope or a rabbi or someone who's the head of the religious group and therefore like lets people know how they should act or how they should behave, what the social codes and rules are, morality, that sort of thing. But with him in the shadows, it's saying that maybe the traditional, conventional way of doing things is not being featured right now. That's taking a step back. That's being put underneath. So maybe there's a way in which you either need to shine the light on how things are being done in terms of tradition or convention or in terms of doing things according to the group, or maybe that's taking a back seat. Maybe you're doing things in a less conventional way. And maybe, I think Taurus got some of this too. Maybe there's a way in which he's just taking a back seat right now. Because I am seeing all of this orange, the red and yellow theme making orange. I'm seeing orange with him, with this lion, the red and yellow with the orange wall and orange here. And you've also got some orange in Chariot. So orange is like modern, different, innovative. It's kind of a eccentric color. So what's passing away is Magician in reverse. And this means not feeling connected to your own personal power, not feeling creative, not feeling like you can make things happen that you want to happen. When Magician is in the upright position, it means being creative, being able to make things happen, seeing something in your mind's eye and bringing it into the physical world, sort of that abracadabra moment of like, there it is. Well, bam, I made it happen. I've synthesized all these 4 different elements and I'm pulling things down from the etheric world down to the physical world. That's what Magician is about. But in the reverse position, it means being not unfocused, not focused on things, kind of like a fuzzy focus on, like not being able to concentrate or focus and make things happen. And what I'm liking about that position for Magician in reverse is that is passing away. So if you've been feeling unconnected to your personal power, not capable of making the things happen that you want to, any lack of vision or focus or concentration, any of that is going to be passing away for you in April. That's going to be dissolving. And your strength is going to emerge. That's what is your central focus for April. Then what's approaching in April, what's coming in, is Six of Coins in reverse. And Six of Coins is a card about resources. This is a card about the haves and the have-nots. It's funny because I always think of this as the tax man. And in reverse, it's saying that there may be some blockages, fears, doubts about that. I always like to point out in Six of Coins that there's a person who has the money, who's handing it out, and then there's the person who's receiving it, and then there's the person who's not receiving it at all. So it's a real card of balance of like, what do you have, what do you not have? Where do you feel like you have resources? Where do you feel like you don't have resources? It's a card of knowledge, power, resources, sometimes even budgeting. And I'm really seeing this as like tax man. So what's approaching is there might be some of you Geminis who are feeling like you're spread thin in April, or you're not having enough to pay the taxman, or there's some block at looking at that, because usually in reverse it means there's some doubt, fear, or resistance. So I'm going to say confront it head on. That's what can cause the energy of this card to flip back into its upright position, allow you to have access to this, and in which case you may relate to the person in the person who has the money available to pay the tax, or to hand out excess, or to receive a refund, or whatever it is. In this position, it's not serving you. In this position, you're not able to get to it because it's fear, doubt, resistance. You're putting it off, you're holding it underwater. Confront it head on, and then you have more options, more resources. It can also be a card of budgeting. So see if you can get over whatever fears, doubts, resistance you have regarding Six of Coins energy. And then what's highlighted for you, Gemini, is King of Cups. This is like the perfect partner, the perfect father. It's a man who operates from his heart. Cups represent heart energy and emotion, and King of Cups has mastery over that. So he always comes from a compassionate position. He considers other people's feelings. So this could be either you, Gemini, or someone that you relate to, someone in your environment, someone who is in charge of their emotions, someone who thinks of others, someone who is an emotionally based person. And they're usually quite a good father or quite a good partner. Again, this could be male or female, but since it's showing up as king here, I'm reading this as a man. So that's highlighted for you, King of Cups. So either you're being the perfect partner and the perfect father, and a wonderful example of mastery of the heart and of emotion, or he's showing up for you. He's highlighted. This is featured for April. Usually this is a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but it could just be anyone who embodies that archetype. So if there's, say, an air sign, an earth sign, or fire sign who is showing up as a loving, compassionate, tender, emotional person, that's also depicted by Knight of Cups, someone who operates from that archetype. So they're showing up for you for sure in April. For week 1, Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups, all knights are romantic, clever, playful. They've got trickster energy because they're about balancing energies. They can swing wildly from one polar opposite to the next. And Knight of Cups is the emotional jack. So he usually comes with a message in his hand. He's wearing the helmet, the winged helmet of Hermes or Mercury, the messenger god. So it's usually a message of love that you are giving to someone else or you're receiving from someone else. So if you have a message of love in the first week of April to give to someone else, he's showing up as like the messenger of love. He's showing up as the message, so he can carry that message of love to someone else for you. Or if you are if you're receiving a message of love, he may be the one who brings it to you. He's showing up for you in this first week of April, Gemini. And there's another thing about Knight of Cups, where he can be a little bit sensitive, he can be romantic, he's a little bit easily bruised. He's kind of got that poetic nature. So be soft with people who are wearing their hearts on their sleeves. This may be you, or this may be someone who is showing up for you. And this is often a water sign person. So again, that could be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. But whoever is embodying this archetype, again, this could be you giving someone else a message of love, or someone giving you a message of love. Sometimes too, Knight of Cups has a self-sacrificing energy to him. It's kind of like that Christ energy of like, I'm sacrificing myself for others. Like I sacrifice my own wants, wishes, and needs for my children or for animals or whomever it might be. Like this could be someone who's tending to someone who's older or weak or has a disease, who's recovering from something. So Knight of Cups is just very sweet, tender. On the low side, he can be like overly fanciful, overly sensitive, all of that. But on the high side, he's poetic and sweet and just loving. So that's showing up for you first week of April, Gemini. Second week of April, really good time to ask for a raise if that's what you're looking for, or good time to be on stage, good time to be out in the public. Six of Wands is a card of reputation, of status, of triumph, of victory and success. You can see he's got this wreath of laurels here. You've also got victory and success in week 3 of April. So there's some real victory or triumph that's happening. I'm seeing these white horses here. This guy comes in on the white horse, and this guy has control over both the black and the white horse. So kind of showing up as like the person who comes in on the horse, the victor, the person who comes in to save the day, the rescuer. I'm seeing that for you, Gemini. And Six of Wands means, having status, having reputation, having people acknowledge you as the person who is the victor, who is the person with victory, triumph, success. It's a great card of success. And it's a card of just recognition and status. So people are seeing you as the person on the horse. So when you are getting this sort of attention, that's a good time to, negotiate your position or ask for that raise. You're being recognized. I'm trying to think of other things that work during Six of Wands periods. The one thing I'll say about Six of Wands is be careful when this happens that you don't get on your high horse. Sometimes this card can take on Emperor's New Clothes kind of energy, where the person thinks they're so great, but they kind of look down on others and other people can see through them. So this card can sometimes have a warning of like, don't be too smug or conceited or arrogant, but otherwise enjoy the recognition that you're getting. Enjoy the triumph and the victory and the success that you're being seen as the person who comes to the rescue, or the person who saves the day, the person who's competent and able, the person who wins the competition. So enjoy second week of April in that regard, Gemini. And then also third week, you cross the finish line. So if there's two things that are being won here. This is actually Chariot, the race being run. And this person knows how to navigate changing problems and changes in the road. He relies on his intuition to know whether to go left or right. So he relies upon his logical, analytical left side brain, as well as his wild, passionate, instinctual right side brain, more creative. And he knows how to alternate between those, how to use the faculties of both, because he makes decisions based on his intuition. So really middle of the month, second and third week, really good time for victory, success, for crossing that finish line, for accomplishing something, Gemini, and getting recognized for it. Towards the last part of the month, the last week of April, we have Five of Swords in reverse. And Five of Swords is a card of self-interest. It is someone who is taking the spoils of war, and the sun is setting on something. This is a conflict that has already happened. This is a conflict, a battle that has been fought or been ongoing. And Five of Swords picks up the pieces. In fact, sometimes I call this card picking up the pieces. And swords represent ideas, thoughts, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It's all the air element. So sometimes I see this as learning, picking up the insights and the wisdom from a conflict that has passed, collecting things, collecting knowledge from a conflict that has already happened. And it's often a card of considering your own interests versus considering other people's interests. In the reverse position, sometimes there's a chance of considering your own interests too much, like being too self-interested. So when this card shows up at the end of the month, be careful that you're not being overly self-interested, or be careful that you don't leave those insights that are on the battlefield out there. Like, make sure you learn from the conflict. Make sure you learn from mistakes is what part of this Five of Swords says. There are some insights available to you after the conflict, but you're going to need, because it's in reverse, you're going to need to actively look for them. It's not going to come easy. You might be just like, I want to pick up all these swords for myself. I'm acting out of self-interest. I don't really care about the battle. I want to see what I can get. So notice last week of April that there's some insight, wisdom, knowledge, understanding available to you if you make the effort to actively look for it. It's interesting that there's 2 6s here in a row, and then this 5 of Swords, which has to do with resources also, as this one does. This one's more physical resources. This is more resources related to the mind, like, again, ideas, wisdom, insight. So if you do have these successes, Gemini, see if you can apply them to whatever it is in terms of managing your money, managing your physical resources, and then also being aware that you don't want to tip the scales and just think about your own self-interests. Consider the interests of others too. Find that balance. That's where real wealth comes from, is when we give and receive in balance. So I'm just going to throw that out there. That's a message that I'm getting from these cards. Sometimes when we get success, a lot of it, we can feel puffed up, or that, it's all about my own self-interest. Make sure you consider the interests of others. So that's my reading for you, Gemini, for April 2017. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Gemini who you think might enjoy it. And as always, if you would like to book a reading with me, I'll have links for that. And feel free to stick around for the announcements that I have just right after this. As always, thank you so much for watching. Yours in the stars. Hello, stars. So these are my announcements for April. I have some fun ones to share. One, some of you may already know, I'm developing this tarot mat. And if you'd like to have one of your own, I'm going to be having these available on my website soon. I'm going to do ones in each color for each different sign. So like Aries is going to be red, Taurus is going to be like an ox blood, brownish red color. You'll get to see all the colors for each of the different signs on my website. And I may also be selling these with a crystal set, like a package deal. One will just be the tarot mat itself, and the other one will be a tarot mat with the crystals, a beginner set. And then I'm eventually going to do one where there's a crystal grid also. So stay tuned for that. You can check my website. I'm also going to be doing a tarot challenge for April with a prominent tarot reader down in Los Angeles named Madame Pamita. I'm really excited to be doing that with her. And we're going to be doing that on Instagram. So feel free to check that out, or hopefully you can join us over on Instagram, or if you'd like to follow me over there. We're going to be doing a tarot challenge for April. It's called Magic Unicorn Tarot Challenge. So I'll have links where you can follow me there. And then if, as always, if you'd like to book a reading with me, feel free to go over to my website and you can book a reading, a personal reading. I have tarot readings. I have cards of destiny, relationship readings. They include numerology as well, or cards of destiny. And then also I have a tarot course, an online tarot course. So if you'd like to sign up for that, I have a link to that on my website as well. So that's all my announcements for April. I'm also going to be doing a video eventually on this tarot mat and the different spreads that you can do with it. So hope you can join us over on Instagram, or just want to let you know all those things are available. Again, thank you so much for watching Yours in the Stars.